Darkness surrounded me. I preferred it that way at this time of night, between the point when sleeplessness had stolen the final chances of a good night's slumber and when the sun would come up, bathing the house in light. The sheets had lost the coolness that initially welcomed me to bed, contributing to my restless state. I flipped them back, kicking them away from my legs, and lay there for a few moments longer, considering my plight. According to the time, I had 4 hours before I would need to get up and start preparing for the day ahead. I could take something to help me sleep, which may or may not work, but would definitely leave me lethargic afterward. There was also the option to not bother with sleep and waste the next 4 hours on whatever was on TV at this time of night. But that would lead to the zombie feeling as well. So, what was a girl to do? I brought my hands up from my sides, slipping them underneath my soft cotton gown to cut my bare breasts. My nipples were already beaded into hard peaks. My fingers found them and squeezed until it hurt, sending a jolt of arousal through me that centered between my legs, making me clench my thighs together tight. I pulled my lip into my mouth, gently scraping over it with my teeth as I made the decision to climb out of bed. Carefully, I picked my way to the other side of my home in almost complete darkness, using 2 years of memories to avoid any obstacles. As I turned down the hall to my office, I willed myself not to get excited. There was always the chance of disappointment, the chance of a need left unresolved, and that would really be too bad. The office was black. I closed the door behind me even though I was alone, and the only lights were the tiny dots on the computer tower, indicating that the power was connected, and the blinking from the router and modem. I sat down at my desk and jealously woke the computer from slumber. A few seconds later it powered on, and the room was bathed in the gray-blue light from the screen. First, I typed my password in and waited for it to load. Once it was done, I pulled the expensive high-definition webcam from the drawer in my desk and plugged it in. I spent a few moments making sure it was focused well and carefully positioned so that there was a full view of my body, but not my face. And then I turned it off. I opened up a web browser and navigated to the website I needed. I logged in with an email I'd set up specifically for this purpose, and then made sure my status was set to offline before I double-clicked to open an ongoing chat between me and him. Sleepless in San Diego. You up? I held my breath after I hit send on the message, waiting for those 3 little bouncing dots to appear, letting me know my message had garnered a response. Willed those dots to appear because I needed them to. Because I needed him. A relieved gasp escaped my throat when his tiny round profile icon appeared under my message, letting me know he'd seen it. I swallowed hard, watching the screen, and then my shoulders sagged in relief as he began to type. No rest for the wicked. Be a miracle if I wasn't. Surprised to see you on a Tuesday. I scoffed, letting out a dry chuckle as I scrubbed a hand over my face. Sleepless in San Diego. It was a tough day. Some lion-ass customers were claiming that Vivid Vixen, my cosmetic company, was releasing products that were a health hazard, which I knew was patently false. I employed my own team of chemists, used my own production facilities, was careful about the quality of my products. Still, at the unsubstantiated word of a few less-than-professional beauty gurus, there was suddenly a social media backlash against my company, and it was gaining traction, despite my efforts to quell it. No rest for the wicked. I'm sorry. This adulting shit is for the birds sometimes. Sleepless in San Diego. Agreed.